This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
And that is what we intend to do today on this Wednesday. I'm Tito, Bobby Carpenter, my left. Bodie Boatster across the table from us here. Morning Juice sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin and Event Risk Elite Protection. Big show lineup for you today. Austin Ward will join us at 7:20. We also have some NFL and college football talk, as we will just about every time we do a show between now and the end of February. Good morning, Bob. How are you, my friend?
Doing great, Thitoff. Doing great.
Reds lost the Dodgers last night 6-3. They play at 8:40 in L.A. tonight to wrap up that series. Reds are now 3.5 back of the Mets in the wild card race. Guards defeat the Rays 3-0 to snap a 6-game losing streak. They play at 1:10 today here in Cleveland. Tomorrow night all gets going, Bob. We got college football. Got a lot of games coming tomorrow, leading into this game on Saturday with Texas. We'll hear from Ryan Day as well in the show. Some of his comments from yesterday when he was. We got some good stuff we talked about with the Texas game coming up and where the team is at right now. But right now, like we do every morning at this time, Bobby's going to make us smarter.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
All right, General, take it away.
It is Wednesday, August 27th, the 239th day of the year, 126 remaining in this 2025. This date, 1938, New York Yankees pitcher Monte Pearson no-hits the Indians, while Joe DiMaggio rolls in 3 triples. Rough day for the Tribe. This date, 1995, the first edition of the Guinness Book of World Records is published. It used to be a big deal. Bodie, was that a big deal when you were still in school?
I feel like it kind of was, yeah.
I mean, that was before there was like the Google machine. And so when you wanted to find out things like that, you would go to the Guinness Book of World Records and see all the weird stuff that they had in there that they had been tracking through all the years.
There were so many dumb records, though. Like,
not were, are.
There are some dumb records. You're right, I should say. There are some dumb records. Is there anything you could do that you could set a record for, you think? A world record for?
Oh, I'm sure there's something out there. Not to say that it wouldn't get broken, but I mean, yeah, there's some unique stuff that you could throw out there, I would imagine.
I don't know. I was trying to think what world record I could set. Because most stuff I would set would be like slowest person to do this.
Most Heathers married.
Oh, you know what?
I mean, you're already 2 in the bag. I'm sure maybe 3 is the number.
I tell you, if this one doesn't take, Bob, I can assure you there won't be a third Heather.
I don't think I've got anything. The only thing I really know is old Notre Dame football scores and miracle quotes, and I don't think they care about either one of those two things.
Miracle quotes.
We could always apply for that one, though. We could say, hey, look, we could see, yeah.
I think if you could get to
Notre Dame
4 Heathers
games.
married, I think that would probably.
You think 4
you'd probably be you wouldn't be a co-champ. You'd be the standalone, I think, at that point.
How did the song Henry VIII? Did he marry a bunch of people that same name?
Widow Next Door.
Yeah,
I don't know if they had the same name, but there was. I think he had 7 wives.
Oh, maybe it was. Yeah, he was married 7 times, and everyone was a. I think about the lyrics now. I gotta think now. It's man. That's Herman and the Hermits.
Shout Henry, Henry.
I can't remember what it was. I gotta look.
Second verse, same as the first.
Yes,
a little bit louder, a little bit worse.
Henry VIII.
Look that up. I mean,
look it up.
We might need to look up how many. What's the world record for Heathers being married? Now the problem is, I think they maybe outlawed it in Utah. You could have got polygamy going. You could have stacked them and chained some of them together, which I think would have helped.
I'm
not literally chained them together, but just the figurative chaining, like consecutive. You know, like when you get consecutive life sentences. Consecutive Heather marriages.
I'm Henry VIII. I am. Henry VIII, I am.
Not consecutive, concurrent is what I meant.
I got married to the widow next door. She's been married 7 times before, and everyone was a Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Henry.
Well, because that was his name.
Right. So I wondered if she married 8 Henrys, if that's accurate.
That's a lot.
That's not Heather's, but still, it might be the. What is what it is? Like that's look that up. Henry VIII. Okay.
I wonder if there's no official world record. I mean. Must be measurable, breakable, standardizable, verifiable. I mean, I think
that sounds like a great rap lyric there.
I mean, most monogamous marriages was by Glenn Scotty Wolfe, who was married 29 times before his death in
Okay, how are you
1997.
going to prove that they were monogamous? How, like...
Well, because you can only have one. You can't have concurrent marriages, like I was just saying.
Yeah,
like
but...
you can get concurrent, like life sentences.
Right.
Or consecutive, which would be subsequent ones.
You know what?
But most monogamous marriages for a female, Linda Essex, married 23 times. Her last husband, ironically, was the man who was married 29, Glenn Scotty Wolfe. That's real life. As I'm looking at this, those were the same two people.
We stumbled upon something, didn't we, Bob?
Most marriages to the same person, actor Stan Laurel and socialite Georgia Holt, each hold the record for marrying the same spouse 3 times.
Laurel and Hardy. That's who's.
I think if you get a third, if you got a third Heather in there, they would
think they'd recognize
it. I think they'd stamp that, and I think you would be in sole possession of first place.
If I was really shooting for that, Bob, it'd be pretty easy to weed out the candidates early on. Hey, what's your name? I'm Susan. Take a hike, Susan.
Pretty popular name too, Heather.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be too hard to find, I don't think.
You look like a Heather.
Can I call you Heather?
Well, that's out of Tommy Boy. She was the waitress serving in the Wingies. This date, 1995. Ain't That a Shame by Fats Domino hits the top 10.
You made me cry when you said goodbye. Ain't that a shame? My tears feel like rain.
How about this? You could marry Heather Mills. You know who Heather Mills is?
Worker here?
No.
Who's Heather Mills?
Well, she is the wife of Paul McCartney. They separated in 2006.
The legless one.
That's right.
Yes.
So you could marry 3 Heathers with 5 legs. Like, how about that?
She does have one leg?
Yeah. One was amputated.
I thought she lost both of them.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't want to. I'm not going to compete in the Olympics with her like that.
She was a model. Amputation of her left leg below the knee. Prosthetic limb. But there you go.
All right.
Dating McCartney in 2000. That could be it for you.
She's probably got money.
It's probably got money.
Believe.
There you go. Then you wouldn't have to work anymore, Thitoff. You just watch old games on YouTube all day long.
Oh, I tell you, man, that's what I'm talking about.
This date, 1964, the release of Mary Poppins by Disney, starring Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke.
Better use it carefully or it could change your life.
For example?
Yes?
One night I said it to me girl, and now me girl's me wife. Oh, and a lovely thing she is, too. She's
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. 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 Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
There you go. A little bit of Panic and Passion. Oh, you've never seen that?
No.
Oh, come on.
I will tell you, I watched part of the 49ers Dallas game from December of 1977 last night.
1977.
Monday night game, yeah.
There you go.
They'll have you put together that Netflix documentary.
Yeah, there you go.
The first dynasty.
A little tougher to get some of the players at that point, potentially.
Not a whole, well, I mean, from that game, well, no, Dwight Clark was later, but he was playing in that game. His catch was in the 81
NFC Championship game.
Yeah, because that was when it flipped from the Cowboys to the Niners and then flipped back to the Cowboys. Jarrah came in. Jarrah
saved the day.
I was going to watch that. I was up late last night. I was going to watch.
But you watched a game from '77. You can watch clips of
I know. But I was afraid to start watching it last night that late because I don't think I'd turn it off and I'd be awake still when it was time to get in here.
Okay,
so
that's fine. You just roll on in.
Yeah,
I mean it's called I get up in the evening, ain't got nothing to say. Come home in the morning feeling the same way. Thitoff. This date, 1988, Tracy Chapman, her self-titled album reaches #1 with the hit Fast Car on it, which ironically never hit #1, only topped at #6.
7.
So my mom or neighbor had that album, and so I used to always listen to that. So before it was popularized by Luke Combs again, I used to listen to that whole thing. I really enjoyed it. So then I had the songs on my iPod.
Nice.
For a while, which was key. 1991, 10 by Pearl Jam is released, and then this date, which is crazy to think. I already kind of led into it, but Floyd Mayweather defeats Conor McGregor in Las Vegas. You want to guess the year on that?
I am going to guess
McGregor's boxing debut, if you will.
I'm going to guess 2013.
Oh, come on. That's way too old. 2017, which I feel like this happened like 3 years ago, but it's been 8 since Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor hopped in the ring.
McGregor hit with a right hand and he tries to survive. He is loose. On wobbly legs. He's about to go. Floyd Mayweather has McGregor on the run. A sharp left hook, another hook, and it's over. Robert Bird says it's over. Waves it off. McGregor was hurt on wobbly legs. He might be slightly protesting, but Floyd Mayweather, dropping the early rounds, has stopped Conor McGregor.
McGregor's the Kurt Signetti of boxing. He's just a fraud.
It's fine. I don't think he ever claimed to be anything else. He went in there.
He said he was going to beat him. He said he was going to win the fight and all that stuff.
I think he went in there trying. I mean, Floyd Mayweather's better than he is.
I know.
That's what he does is box.
McGregor wasn't aggressive at all, though.
Well, I think he was probably trying not to get beat up too much. He got paid a lot for it. And
Same thing Signetti did against Ohio State. Just didn't want to try to get beat up too much.
There you go. Put that cigarette out. Some birthdays today. This date, 1908, Lyndon B. Johnson was born. Bodie, do you know what President LBJ was?
That'd be 36, Bob.
Good job, because you knew JFK was 35.
That's correct, yep.
There's a couple anchors in there that you can figure out. Usually the guys that died in office.
Didn't make it, yeah.
They didn't make it out of there. This date, turning 78, Barbara Brock, who was Anya Amasova from The Spy Who Loved Me.
Do you recognize him?
No, who is he?
The man I loved. He was in Baumgarten 3 weeks ago. Did you kill him?
When someone's behind you on skis at 40 miles an hour trying to put a bullet in your back, you don't always have time to remember a face. In our business, Anya, people get killed. We both know that. So did he. It was either him or me. The answer to the question is yes. I did kill him.
Then, when this mission is over, I will kill you.
This mission is over. I will kill you. One of the early Bond girls. Was that Connery in there?
Don't believe so. That was
Roger Moore.
Yes.
Roger Moore?
Roger Moore, yeah.
There we go. This date, born on this date and turning 77. His name is Ralph Remus, but we refer to him as Sergeant Slaughter, WWE star. Buddy Bell, the 5-time All-Star and Reds vice president, turning his 74 today.
He's a Reds vice president? I didn't know that. Vice president of the Reds? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved when the Reds got him from the Rangers. That was like in 84, I think 83, 84. I think 83 they got him.
At least I believe that's still the case.
Could be.
I think you're right on that. Yeah, I was looking at it yesterday. I couldn't find a clip, anything worthy.
Substantial,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I believe he's the current Reds vice president. So, Buckeyes with him right there. Mac Brown turning 74 as well, the former UNC, Texas UNC head coach.
The most important thing, regardless of how much you played, we love you very much. We love you very much, and that's important for you to know on the good days and the bad days. Now, we like you more on the good days, but we do love you very much. And last thing, and I said this at the first of the week, I don't want this to be the best thing that's ever happened in your life. When you're 54, I don't want you to say winning a football game is the best thing that ever happened in my life. You'll have it, and you'll be a champion for the rest of your life. You make sure that's one of the best sports things in your life, but you promise me, if you got enough about you to win a national championship, you got enough about you to be a great citizen and a great role model, a great father, and a great leader in your family. And that's what we're looking for when you get out of here. That's what we want. So.
The best part about that post-game speech after they beat Southern Cal in the Rose Bowl was when he shouted out McConaughey, who was just standing in the back of the locker room just holding up the hook 'em. He didn't say much. He was just standing back there holding him up.
That's right. There we go.
I feel like he was 74 for about 10 years.
Yeah, he kind of got old and then just stayed old and has been there for a long time. Sounds a lot like he could be in that America's Team, the Gamblers Cowboys documentary.
You know what? I wonder if
felt like he was about ready to drop in there. How about them Cowboys at the end?
I think, In Carolina, they went young with their next head coach.
Exactly. I think Bill is 74 right
now.
He's
right, yeah. Mac Brown was too old, though.
Passed away 2 years ago, born on this date, 1952. Paul Rubens. Do you know who that is?
That's Pee Wee.
Look at that. I can't even believe he got that. Here you go.
Wasn't there a famous Paul Rubens? Also, sorry. Wasn't there another one like in history somewhere?
You look that up. I'll play this clip.
Yeah, you do it.
It's not for sale, Francis.
My father says everything's negotiable. Pee-wee.
I wouldn't sell my bike for all the money in the world. Not for $100 billion, million, trillion dollars.
Then you're crazy.
I know you are, but what am I?
You're a nerd.
I know you are, but what am I?
You're an idiot.
I know you are, but what am I?
Infinity.
No, I'm not. You are. No way.
Way.
Knock it off. Cut it out. Oh, shut up, Pee-wee.
Why don't you make me?
Why don't you make me?
Because I don't make monkeys. I just trade them.
Oh, Pee-wee, listen to reason. Oh, come on.
I'm listening to reason.
Pee-wee.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
I mean, is that from Pee-wee's Great Adventure?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I mean, he got in trouble, Bodie. I don't know if you know this. Servicing himself in one of the adult movie theaters.
Nice.
Well, came out later.
Charles Haley, him and this dude get along.
Listen, Charles Haley is one of the. Here's the thing: Charles Haley's so big, he can kind of do whatever he wants. Because he was always around the team when I was there too. Like, really good dude. I mean, bipolar and scary human. Huge head, as you can see in those videos. Massive hands, just a ginormous human. Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, turning 56. One of the great home run hitters of all time, hitting 612 dongs. Mr. Jim Thome turning 55.
Don Wengert winds it up, delivers. Thome drills one high and deep to center. Away, way back. Gone deep into the picnic plaza, and that might have even got out of the ballpark. Jim Thome has just left Jacobs Field onto Eagle Avenue. That will take 2 tape measures. The Tribe down 2-1.
There you go. That'll take 2 tape measures. A little solo shot there by Mr. Jim Thome. And former Dallas Cowboys, drafted by the Raiders, played at Arkansas.
Felix Jones?
Oh,
did he play Arkansas?
He did play at Arkansas, but he never played for the Raiders.
Oh, Darren McFadden.
Darren McFadden was drafted to the Raiders. I believe he's from Arkansas as well, which is also the home state of Jarrah, if you will. Turning 38 today.
McFadden will get the direct snap. Fakes it, keeps it, comes left. Watch out! He's gone! I think. Gets a great block and goes 73 yards.
That was Casey Dick with the block.
That was it was the final game of the regular season. 7-4 Arkansas went into Death Valley, beat number 1 LSU 50-48 in overtime. McFadden 206 yards, 3 scores on 32 carries. And of course LSU lost that game. Like I said, last game of the regular season there, LSU fell to 10-2, but they still made the SEC title game and got a whole lot of luck along the way and backdoored their way into the national championship game when they played Ohio State in that wild 2007 where if you were number 1 or number 2, you were going to lose that week.
West Virginia was number 1 right before that.
Yes, and Pitt shocked them.
Well, Pitt shot McAfee, missed a couple of field goals in that game.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'd have to hunt him. But he played well all year. But, yeah, there was South Florida was number 2 that year for a while. There was a lot of not the usual suspects sitting in those 1 and 2 spots, and no one could seem to hold it. Some holidays observances that we've got coming at you my computer moved, coming at you today. It is Banana Lovers Day, Lyndon B. Johnson Day in the state of Texas, National Petroleum Day, Tarzan Day, and Tug of War Day. And those are historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays observances for this date, August 27th, the 239th day of the year, and $1.26 remaining in this 2025.
Well done, as always, General. Coming up next, NFL rosters had to get down to 53 players yesterday. A couple of Buckeyes did not survive the cut. We'll talk about that. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
When it comes to protecting your assets, you need a security partner. Event Risk Security Services is a U.S.-based veteran-owned company providing protection services, consulting to Fortune 500 companies, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality services and an endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give them a try. They're virtually the same cost, and they can address what keeps you up at night. Event Risk. Check them out at eventriskinc.com to learn more.
Hey there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
I'm Shanola Hampton. Every day, millions of people face hunger. Today, I will share with you some of their experiences. I'm stuck between paying for medications or paying for food. John from Maine. After paying my bills, I can buy groceries. It's sad to say, food comes last. Alice from Oregon. I thought pantries were for less fortunate people. But anybody could be less fortunate in a day or even a second. Claire from Virginia. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. No one should have to worry where their next meal will come from. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
As we wonder why our kids are struggling, someone is getting bullied. As we discuss how to improve their mental health, someone is being harassed on social media. As we wonder why they're skipping school, someone is crying themselves to sleep. Knowing the signs is the best way to prevent bullying.
Please just leave me alone.
Learn the signs at sandyhookpromise.org.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, Morning Juice. Thanks for joining us here in the chat. We always appreciate that. Live. Did we ever announce yet? Like, I know they put on like a release out, but did we announce what we're doing on the Fan 2 coming up in September?
We tweeted it out.
We tweeted it out? Okay.
Somebody did.
Somebody wasn't
I
you?
quote tweeted it with our account.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Starting September 2nd, we will be on the 1460 AM Fan 2 is how we're branding it, right?
Oh,
They're going to replay it. It's a replay from 1 to 3.
We got our best minds together and
Yes.
said, what can we call the AM station now that ESPN is going away?
Fan 4?
Fan 2.
No, it's not Fan 4. Hang on. 2 Fan? No. We did a lot of market research on that and came up with Fan 2. Bob, the NFL cuts.
The deuce.
Yes. The NFL roster had to be down to 53 players yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this on 11 Warriors. There were 57 players from Ohio State made 53-man rosters this year. 57 former Ohio State players
Where does
made.
that come down in the pantheon of all schools?
That would probably take a lot of show prep on my part.
If you're going to champion something like this you should probably have all the details.
Look, much like Michael Scott, sometimes I just say something, I know it's wrong, and I couldn't stop myself on that
to find it along the way.
Yeah, just try to find my way there, yes. I will tell you that the Browns and Cardinals both have the most Ohio State players on their rosters now with 6 each. So,
all right, they haven't updated it yet. So
haven't updated what? The numbers
post cut. Gotcha. Yes.
Some of the players that did not make the squads, I was kind of surprised about. Trey Sermon, with the Steelers, he didn't make it. I shouldn't say I was all that surprised by that. Cameron Johnston, though, for the Steelers, also got cut. He'd been there for a while. But Seth McLaughlin got cut by the Bengals. I really was surprised by that one.
Why?
Because I think he's a damn good player.
And you're an NFL scout, so your opinion matters?
They didn't ask me. No, Bob, did you think he'd be on an NFL roster?
I thought that he would. There's probably... So here's how it works. You have to be released and clear waivers to then be picked up by a practice squad.
Right.
So that's probably what they're going to do.
Probably so. I thought that
he had coming off a torn Achilles. He was able to get in there and practice during camp, which was a positive.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of development that still needs to ultimately happen. And so they probably said, we're not going to carry him at this point in time.
Right.
And we'll see if he can clear waivers. For the Bengals, they're hoping he does. If Seth has an option to get picked up, well, then we'll have a decision to make of where he's going to go and play, if he'll stay there or he'd rather go to an active roster somewhere else. And that's how that ultimately works. It doesn't shock me that that's the case, given the fact that he's less than a year. I mean, he's like 9 months-ish out of a torn Achilles.
Yeah, I guess that's
It happened the week of the Indiana game.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, so that's true. Quinn Ewers, by the way, he made the Dolphins 53.
So does that make more sense than your statement of just saying you think he's a damn good football player?
It make more sense? Well, I mean, yeah.
How many Bengals preseason games did you watch?
I watched some clips from a few of them.
Yeah, zero is the answer.
Well, I don't know how much he played. I'm just saying.
Okay,
Bobby,
I don't even know how much he played.
I don't know how much he played.
So listen, I'm sure that Heather Mills, she may have been a great marathon runner before she lost her leg in a motorcycle accident. But, he tore his Achilles. And I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player, but he's less than a year out of a torn Achilles.
And he was a talented college football player. That's all I'm saying, Bob. I wasn't saying
before he tore his Achilles.
Well, sure, yeah.
But you haven't seen him at all, but you wanted to make a blanket statement as to your analysis of the situation.
Bobby, I watched him play at Ohio State. You watched him play at Ohio State.
I watched him tear his Achilles at practice.
Okay.
And watched him play zero football since then. I didn't watch any of the Bengals preseason games.
Right.
So I wasn't going to make a statement as to how good he was playing right now because I haven't seen it.
After you watched him play at Ohio State, before he got hurt at Ohio State, did you think he was an NFL player?
Yeah.
I did too.
But what does that have to do with him post-torn Achilles?
Because if I
sawed his leg off, would you still say he's a good player?
That would be a more permanent injury, I would think.
I think so, too.
Yeah. I understand that, but he's less than a year out of a torn Achilles.
I wasn't saying he should be on a team. I just said I'm surprised that he didn't make the
team.
And I
said why. You said because he's a damn good player. Or can you still testify to him being a damn good player?
I think
no is the answer.
I think he's a damn good player, Bob.
No, Thitoff, you haven't even watched him play since he tore his Achilles. So you can't have a comment on it.
I saw Rodgers play before he tore his Achilles, and I still thought Rodgers would play in the NFL again.
But you thought he would play in the NFL again. But he's a damn good player. I'm not ready to make any statement on that, and it's a lot different having to play an offensive line than quarterback off of that.
That's fair. Yeah, sure it is. Yeah.
All I'm saying is that before you make blanket statements about things, if you would have watched a lot of Cincinnati preseason games, then I would have given you the benefit of the doubt. But since you said you didn't see any of them live, and you've watched clips of them, which means you probably haven't seen anything other than highlights, which probably don't feature the center position, similar to the cowbell.
Well, Bob, but we can have an opinion.
You can't have an opinion if you haven't seen any of it.
Okay, so if
everybody can have an opinion, but it's just it's uninformed and terrible. So I'm not going to tell you what I think about something if I've never seen it.
Okay, are you surprised Tyreek Smith got cut by the Seahawks?
I didn't watch him play up there.
So, okay.
So does it surprise me that, what is he, a second-year player now, third?
I think it's his third.
Does it surprise me, a third-year player that probably hasn't been all that productive in his first 2 years? At some point, there's a life expectancy on you, so they may be trying to have him clear waivers, or maybe they thought we've seen enough of him over the last 2 years. We feel like he is improved as much as he's going to improve. We have a really deep defensive line, or we don't think that he possesses any potential to continue to ascend to where we need him to be. And so that's why they're going to make that decision. So it's not shocking to me when I see that stuff.
Okay.
Now, if he would have had 10 sacks last year and they cut him, then yes, that would surprise me.
Okay. Are you surprised Aaron Noland is not the starting quarterback at South Carolina?
No.
Okay.
Because they have Lenore Sellers back.
I know. I'm saying. I'm just saying.
Did you watch Lenore Sellers play
Lenore
football?
Sellers is great. Yes, I'm saying.
Have you ever watched Aaron Noland play football?
Just here in different
clips of him, like how.
Right.
So I've watched Aaron Noland practice some.
Right.
He didn't play a lot early in his tenure. I think Lenore Sellers has a chance to be in New York for the Heisman Trophy.
So do I.
I watched him play a lot of good football last year. Never in a million years would I think that Aaron Noland was going to beat him out. If he did, I think that would say a lot about both of those players.
I guess I'm surprised Aaron Noland's not starting somewhere.
Well, he went to South Carolina.
I know.
Lenore Sellers was there.
I would have thought by this time in his career, Aaron Noland would be starting somewhere. Just like I'm surprised Devin Brown isn't the starting quarterback at Cal. I thought they were both very talented players. And McCord got cut by the Eagles also. That was the other one. I was looking at former Ohio State quarterbacks
Oh,
that
yeah, I
moved
saw where
on.
he got cut, which isn't all that shocking to me. I mean, quarterback is a very unique position when you're trying to look at your roster. Who do you want to keep? And sometimes they may say he could be better, but he doesn't have the experience, and maybe we want a more experienced backup at this point. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you ultimately make those decisions.
I was looking at some of the other ones that were on here of players that did not make it. Kendall Sheffield got cut by the Dolphins. Who else we got on here?
Oh my gosh, he was only here for a year out of Alabama.
Right.
What year was that? 2020?
I'll take a look here on that one.
2019 or 2021?
Was he only 1 year? I thought he was here 2 years. Maybe, yeah, 1 year. You're right.
I'm pretty sure he was just here a year because I barely remember him.
See if I can find him here. He played. He was Ohio State says 17 and 18.
Oh, okay. So it's pre-COVID. So he's been in the NFL since then.
He's 29 years old.
Bounced around. Good for him.
He was at Bama, and then went to Blinn for 2016, and then 17-18 at Ohio State. And he's so he did not make the cut for the Dolphins. His NFL career though also included the Falcons, Texans, Cowboys, Texans again, 49ers, Titans, Jets, and then the Dolphins this year. But we'll see if he ends up getting on the practice squad on that one. When do they make the decision on practice? They clear waivers? Is there like the...
Yeah, you clear waivers. They'll have practice squad set up Sunday. I don't know when waivers. They've changed all this a little bit. Usually have like a day or two to clear waivers. Usually Sunday they'll begin putting the practice squad together. I want to say like they'll have their guys will still be around.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll let them know it's like we want you, but if someone else picks you up, then that's what it is.
So if you're on the practice squad, Bob, what does life look like? How is life for you different than being a player on the roster?
Well, you don't play in games.
You don't play in games. That's one part of it. But is
All
there any
you do
other
is practice? You don't get Tuesday off because you're getting essentially Saturday and Sunday off. I mean, you come in and do walkthrough.
Okay.
But you don't play on Sunday, and so that a lot of times, Bill Parcells always said he wishes it was called the developmental squad because he goes that's really what he always used it as. Where there are players who had some attributes who maybe weren't strong enough, need to gain weight, work on something with their bodies, need to develop skills a little more, but had some potential. And so, like, you keep those guys around, just like you keep usually the back 3 or 4 guys on your roster around, hoping they're going to improve. And just as you talked about Tyreek Smith, you've been around there 2 years. Maybe you haven't made the progress that they had hoped.
Right.
And now they have another young guy that they want to take a flyer on.
Luke Farrell made the 49ers. J.K. Dobbins is with the Broncos now. Obviously, made that as well. I know he's coming off injuries again. Got J.K. Dobbins, somebody, Bob, who
tore his Achilles.
He also had the knee injury before that, right? Injury. He had the ACL type of situation.
Well, ACL was last year. I think he tore his Achilles the year before that.
I think you're right, yeah. Or maybe 2 years ago on that one. I'm not sure on that. But anyway, nonetheless, though, that's somebody who, God, I wonder how good he would be if he didn't have these injuries, you know?
Really good, because he was very good with the Chargers until he got hurt. He was leading the league in rushing through like 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, and he was good with the Ravens, too.
Yeah, he's just been hurt. Like, it's unfortunate. That's how it how it kind of goes sometimes. JK's an awesome human being, really good running back, very talented guy. But this is like you can't make the club in the tub, and so that's tough.
Yeah, make the club in the tub. I've heard that one before.
Really?
I've never can't make the club in the tub. I've never heard that.
That's
You heard
one
that
of the
before?
more widely.
Yeah, I've heard it.
I've heard that before. Huh?
Been a minute since I have.
Yeah.
Normally they kind of go with the best availability or
Most important ability is availability.
Yeah. All right. So coming up next, we will hitch up some quick hitters. A future Ohio State opponent has canceled a home and home. We'll talk about that next. Morning Juice.
When it comes to protecting your business, whether it's your staff, property, or assets, don't make a crucial mistake by contracting companies that provide subpar and unprofessional service. What you need is a security partner known for their unwavering professionalism and unmatched reliability. You need Event Risk. Event Risk is a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company that not only specializes in on-site guarding, but also offers armed security associates and executive protection agents. Event Risk, elite protection for your peace of mind.
Hello, my name is Eric Rose, CEO and founder of Event Risk Security Services. We are a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company providing protection services and consulting to Fortune 500 corporations, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality security officers and the endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give us a try. For virtually the same cost, we can then address what keeps you up at night.
Visit EventRiskInc.com.
When was the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or back screaming at you? Or walked down a flight of stairs without having to take your time? You thought to yourself, I'll just tough it out. But nothing changes. Hi, it's Tyvis Powell. It's time to call and schedule that free consultation with Dr. Walkoff and his team at QC Kinetics here in Columbus. I'm glad I did. Myself and others have turned around their lives with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies, no scalpels, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. Check it out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. Bring your x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free, no-pressure chat and thorough evaluation to see if you're a good candidate. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Just call QC Kinetics at 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Through Travis Manion Foundation's Operation Legacy service projects, veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians across the country come together under the common cause to serve in honor of our nation's heroes. Service projects include city beautifications, planting memorial trees, volunteering at shelters, park cleanups, and more. Ask yourself, if not me, then who? And register for a project near you or as a virtual volunteer by visiting oplegacy.org.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and Columbus football is back. And what better way to kick off the season than driving home in a tough, reliable 2024 Toyota Tacoma from Germain Toyota of Columbus. Right now, get 0% APR for up to 72 months with 20% down, or lease it for $239 a month for 36 months for 10,000 miles per year with $29.99 due at signing. Head to Germain Toyota of Columbus today on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road. Your home for great deals all season long.
Bobby's knees hurt from doing battle with some of football's toughest warriors. Tito's knees hurt from begging Bobby to let him host this show.
Oh, pick me! Oh, I know, me!
This is Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice, thanks for tuning in. It's now time for my man Bodie to shine.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Bodie, how are you this morning, my friend?
I am fantastic, guys. Happy Wednesday. Coaster Bob Day, halfway through the work week, halfway to the first week one, not week 0, week 1 college football week of the season here. Get some college football tomorrow night, though. Guys, speaking of college football, we discussed last week the SEC moving to a 9-game conference schedule beginning next season in 2026. And now we have our first casualty of that happening as Alabama and West Virginia have mutually agreed to cancel a home-and-home series planned for the next 2 seasons in 26 and 27. The Crimson Tide still do have a home game against Florida State next year. That is the return trip following this Saturday's tilt in Tallahassee. Instead of the West Virginia game, Alabama will play East Carolina at home next fall. They also host South Florida in a non-conference game. Alabama still has other marquee matchups on the future schedules there for the Tide, including a home-and-home with Ohio State in 2027-28, and Oklahoma State in 28-29, and Notre Dame in 29 and 30. Bobby, given they still play Florida State next season, I don't think you can blame Bama too much for this decision here.
Well, you knew this was going to happen because they're going to play one big game a year. They're not going to play 2 anymore. And Bama would try to schedule up, and I give them a lot of credit for that. But with going to 9 games for conference, plus you have your 10th Power 4 game, they're probably not going to put an 11th on there.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. And like moving forward, they got Ohio State on their schedule. Like, would you rather have Ohio State or someone else? You know, and so they've got Florida State next year. So they're trying to juggle this and balance it the best they can. They probably scheduled this back when Nick Saban was the coach. Do you know where Nick Saban is from?
West Virginia.
West Virginia. And so he's not there anymore. And so it probably doesn't have the same allure that you were going to have as well.
You know, Bob, I worry about that, though, with the future games like this, of them trying to do something like that, where they because like in 28, they've got Ohio State and Oklahoma State, 29, Notre Dame and Oklahoma State. So I hope they don't. I hope the Ohio State.
They're not taking Ohio State off. They'll drop Oklahoma State before they drop Ohio State.
I was going to say, I could see them dropping that Oklahoma State
Right.
game since it overlaps with both Ohio State and Notre Dame.
Right.
And then
Those are the
just
games they're
replace
keeping.
Oklahoma State. Or maybe you go back to Oklahoma State and say, hey, we'll meet you neutral site for a one-off.
Like Ohio
in that
State with
year in
TCU
between.
that year, right?
Yeah.
Ohio State and TCU played in Jerry World the one year instead of doing their home and home. I hope that because Ohio State's got, you know, after the Alabama one, they've still got they got Georgia coming up on their schedule then, and I hope all those games stick because I'm looking forward to those. I hope that those will end up being on the schedule still.
I'm hoping they will, and I'm thinking that they probably will, especially with the SEC having to play one Power 4, and this is all part of it with the college football playoff, and we'll see how it all breaks out here over the next couple seasons when they hopefully expand or possibly expand to who's getting in and what those seeds look like.
I like the fact they had a couple of marquee games on the schedule, though, and if they keep them, I'm saying. But like when they had that, like the Ohio State, Oklahoma State, Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, Arizona, Minnesota, I guess. But anyway,
who's that? Is that still Bama's?
Bama, yeah.
Okay.
They've got a couple years coming up when they play. They get at Georgia Tech and Notre Dame in 2030. Georgia Tech at Boston College in 31. Arizona and Minnesota, they do home and homes with them in 32 and 33, and in 34 they've got Virginia Tech and Boston College. I hope that the new
can't wait for that BC game.
You know, maybe they'll have another Flutie in there or something. Who knows? But I just hope that we don't see more and more of these kinds of things happening where teams chop off a Power 4 opponent, but it's inevitable it's going to happen.
Yeah, Bama, I think. You know, I know a lot of people don't like them. I don't blame those people. I'm probably one of them. But I think over the years under Nick Saban, they've consistently played at least one pretty big opponent. And even, you know, this year and into next year, we'll see how the Seminoles do. But like we've talked about before on this show, even if Florida State doesn't perform too well, you can only play Alabama so much, given that Florida State 2 years ago should have probably been in the playoff, and then they fell to a 2-win team last year.
Yep.
On to the NFL here. Brian Schottenheimer has remained steadfast that his star edge rusher, Micah Parsons, will be available for the Dallas Cowboys in their season opener next Thursday night in Philadelphia against the Eagles. But for the first time throughout training camp, Schotty acknowledged that Parsons could be on a limited snap count. He told the media on Tuesday, as soon as he can get out there, that's great. But again, there will be a ramp-up plan for him. And when he lines up out there to play, do I think he would play 75 plays in every play? Probably not. I don't think that that's real, but I do think that he can be very disruptive, like we all know. Tito, there's no doubt Parsons, he can make an impact in 12 snaps or 75 snaps, but still the frustration that he's not going to be out there for all game because they just didn't get this contract situation handled is very frustrating.
You know, for Cowboys fans, I'm sure it is. And I'm saying, you know, who would have thought that the Bengals would get something figured out with their star defensive player before the Cowboys would get something figured out? But I don't know. I don't know how much he needs to. Preseason, everyone, like we talked about yesterday, Bob, but there's some positions where you don't necessarily need a full preseason to get ready. And I'm not saying that as long as he's in shape, he should be able to go out there and play, I would think. I don't know how much the schematics changed in Dallas with the new regime coming in now, if there's a huge change in that. But Micah Parsons, he's Micah Parsons. So I would think he'd be able to adapt no matter what.
I don't think they're worried about the scheme. I think they're worried about his level of conditioning.
Yeah.
So while he's running around, he's not practicing at all.
But
it's not playing in the games.
Right.
It's the practicing. So if you're not practicing, it's hard to get in football shape if you're not playing the game of football. So that's what Brian is lamenting there. And for a first-year head coach, not having an all-pro player, maybe one of the best defensive players in the game, really puts him in a good spot. Sure, he's really
Yes,
excited about that. That we're going to be, and if you're Oh, goodness. Who is their D coordinator there right now?
Eberflus.
Eberflus.
He just
And
came
I'm
in.
sure he's probably not all that thrilled about not having him either. He's a dynamic, disruptive player. So there's a lot of things they've got to figure out. And listen, they have packages and things that they've probably tried to work on that feature him, but it's hard to work on stuff that features him if he's not in there because it's not going to look the same. So they'll be kind of meandering their way through the beginning of this season as they slowly try to ramp him up because you don't want him to go out there, be tired, and then get hurt, and then you lose him for more time than you already have.
The Cowboys, by the way, return to practice on Friday. They'll have three practices, the Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday before they fly out to Philadelphia. So, it's up against it now as far as getting him signed and ready for get him signed and on the team for the Philadelphia game. But, that's a...
They said they're practicing Saturday?
This says it's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. They practice Friday, then they practice on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah. I said they have the required 3 days off right now.
I was going to say, you have to give them 3 consecutive days.
Right. Yeah, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday before flying to Philadelphia. So that's it. But he's a tremendous player. I hope he gets back on the field there pretty soon for Dallas. But they got a tall task ahead of them already.
Let's see if he even comes. I mean, there's a possibility that he holds out games.
Yeah, and
that wouldn't shock me.
It worked for Emmitt Smith when they Smith held out. And they went 0-2, and then they brought him back and
Super Bowl,
they won the Super Bowl.
Here we go. I can't remember who Dallas plays in week 2 off the top of my head, but if we just lose to, let's see here, they are home against New York. So drop the game.
Okay.
Giants. Drop that Philadelphia game, lose to New York, and then we'll just rip off 12, 13 wins and get the 6th Super Bowl
there we go.
title, franchise history. Why don't you just give up those GM duties, Bob? Because I like the pain. Back to college.
How great was it?
It was very good. I finished it all up last night, and I tell you
I'm
what,
going to collect every bleeping cent.
I'll tell you what I did not need to relive was the loss in Lambeau in 2014.
How great was that? With them sitting there watching it.
No, I'm talking about the
Dez catch.
Yes,
that was
because
tough.
Dez Bryant absolutely caught that ball. There's no remote question about it.
It was terrible.
And they robbed Romo of what I think probably was
his
best shot or one of his 2 best chances at getting there. And I don't know if we would have went to Seattle and won that next game. But
gosh, how sweet.
Dez Bryant absolutely caught that ball. And I'll tell you guys, if Dean Blandino ever turns up dead, you can start
with Bodie.
Start the suspect list with yours truly. Back to college football here. The running of Ralphie during Colorado games is one of the most famous mascot traditions in the sport. 5 handlers run with Ralphie, who is actually a bison, although buffalo and bison are sometimes used interchangeably per ESPN. The animals can reach up to 25 miles per hour speed there. Ralphie, the 6th, nicknamed Ember, was not just into it, though. So Ralphie the 6th is retiring after 4 years in which she drew the ire of Colorado fans because of her indifference to running. Colorado said in a statement, due to an indifference of running, typical of many mammals, both 4-legged and 2-legged, it was determined that it was in Ember's best interest, based on her deposition to focus
Montana Grill
on relaxing strolls on the pasture, which is her favorite hobby. Bobby, good news. I don't think the Buckeyes will ever have to worry about that with Brutus, right?
You know what they needed is they needed to get a wolf behind it to chase it. That's what we needed there. Get the wolf on a leash.
Fear's a hell of a motivator.
It really is. Now, if they were still in the Pac-12 and they played Washington, you get the husky back there, you chase them down.
Get the duck on that motorcycle.
Duck on a motorcycle. I've always wondered, I'm like, of all the stuff, I'm like, running with that buffalo might be the most dangerous.
Yeah.
Because that thing is fast and it is huge and very, very strong.
The Sooner Scooter went.
That was awesome. With Jack Knight
several years ago.
Turned and rolled over.
That probably didn't feel great.
No, that was.
But I don't think the horse in itself is quite as dangerous as a bison.
No,
yes,
the people that have to run with the bison.
You got to be fast, dude. Those guys are hauling. They're running in cowboy boots too, I think.
Is it an honor or a punishment?
No, it's an honor.
Yeah,
I don't know. You remember Eric Berry's thing?
Eric Berry.
Eric Berry.
Oh, believe me, Michelle Whitten, she's like, this is embarrassing. They turned the Tennessee dance team into a rap video with an Eric Berry feature, and it was like a music video for him.
I don't remember that.
Oh, you could probably pull it up. We used to sit there and watch it in the locker room because Michelle was Jason's wife was on the dance team there. And so she lamented the fact, she's like, what is this? She's like, this isn't what we do. Like
Berry for Heisman.
Eric Berry for Heisman, baby.
He had he had a fear of horses, equinophobia.
Equinophobia. Well, equine is a
equine
horse.
Yeah, I know what the phobia thing is. Anyway, and it says here, I saw this the other day. He, it was so bad that it affected him when he was playing for the Chiefs, because the team's horse's mascot war paint appeared on the field after touchdowns, and Barry was very bothered by that. I guess it was so significant he would actively avoid the horse, even while in a huddle with teammates and coaches. So I found that interesting.
Yes.
Every Berry, yo, you scary.
Yes. How amazing is the video?
The lyrics are very clever. Barry's a pretty good name to rhyme some stuff with, so that's good.
How awesome was that?
Nice.
You didn't think that was on your bingo card, hearing it. Eric Berry for Heisman hype
Eric
video.
Berry for Heisman featuring Video 4 featuring Swiper Boy. Nice.
Swiper Boy.
Yeah. I
Swiper,
think
no swiping. I like it.
Ronaldo Woolridge, a.k.a. Swiper Boy, delivers the fourth video of the Eric Berry for Heisman campaign. Nice.
Said three preceding it.
How many
Tremendous.
safeties have won the Heisman? I can't imagine a lot, but they
zero.
tried. Yeah, okay. Major League Baseball here, guys. They announced their 2026 schedule on Tuesday. Just run through some highlights of it here. It'll open up on March 25th next spring with the Yankees at the San Francisco Giants. Then you got the 14-game traditional opening day on Thursday, March 26th. That is the earliest opening day ever. The 96 All-Star Game will be played at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia on July 14th. How about this? If the A's, the Athletics, if they make the playoffs, there could be postseason games in West Sacramento.
Sounds awesome.
Don't know if you got a plan for that, but
in front of 7,000 people or whatever the stadium seats.
Speaking of, there's still no official word on where the Tampa Bay Rays will play next season. The Mets and Yankees will play at Yankee Stadium on September 11th, marking the 25th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. Also, because of the FIFA World Cup, which will be played throughout North America in June and July next summer, the Red Sox and Mariners will play a rarely scheduled doubleheader on June 20th. That'll be played, the soccer games on June 20th. They'll be playing that doubleheader in Seattle on June 19th. Tito.
Yes, sir.
What gets you most excited about all that there?
That's an early time to start the season.
March 25th.
March 25th. I don't know. I think they should start it in April like they always do, and I think they should try working more doubleheaders. I know that people fight against that. The owners fight against it, and the players do, for that matter, as well. But I at San Francisco in March, that should be okay. But I'm just like, whenever you look at the opening schedule, I think unless you're in a dome or a warm weather climate.
Like Cleveland.
Yes.
I was going to say, where do they open up with next year?
I remember the one year because Cleveland it was snowy in Cleveland.
They'll be in Seattle and then L.A. Nice. Another West Coast trip to start the year. I believe they did that this year as well.
But there was a snowstorm, or the weather in Cleveland forced, at the time, the Indians to play their home opening series against in Milwaukee. They had to travel to Milwaukee to play that.
That's good because you want to go further north.
Well, I think that
find somewhere warm, Bodie, like the Geese. Just
Milwauke's a dome, though, isn't it?
I think Milwaukee's a dome.
It is now. I don't know.
I think it was, but I think I gotta remember.
Pretty sure.
They played. Yeah, they traveled. They moved the game to Milwaukee from Cleveland. And
American Family Field. Oh, hold on.
I'm trying to think what that.
I think you're correct in saying it's a dome now.
But I wonder if back then, it could have been that
long
ago.
I've been to 3 baseball stadiums, professional baseball stadiums, all open air.
Which ones you been to?
Great American Ballpark,
yeah,
Busch, and Fenway. Or Wrigley.
Okay,
and Fenway, I guess 4.
Oh, you've been to Fenway too. Yeah, I got to get to Fenway. Wrigley's great. I went to the old Busch and the new Busch.
I've heard that about you.
How about this? American Family Field features North America's only fan-shaped convertible roof, which can be open and closed in less than 10 minutes. I don't know what fan-shaped means.
Like a fan, I think, I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be that. It's got to be something like that, yeah.
Fan, the fan, like that cools you off, or fan like a person? Opened up in 2001, though, so. What year did you say that
I'm
was?
looking at it right now. It was
it was after that, I think.
I don't think it was. The 2007, the Guardians, then the Indians, had their home opener hosted by the Milwaukee Brewers at Miller Park.
Yeah.
Now American Family Field due to heavy snow in Cleveland.
Nice.
Yeah.
Reds next year open up against the Red Sox.
Yeah,
on the
Red
26th.
Sox, yeah.
Interleague play there. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be great in Cincinnati on March 26th. At
Right.
least it's a few more hours
I'm
south
telling-
of Cleveland there.
Start most of the games, if not all of them, in domes or warm weather cities.
I'm sure they try. It's just...
I mean, you can't do it in Cincinnati because that's always the...
Yeah, like half of the league, probably give or take, is Philadelphia, Boston, the 2 New York teams, the
Right.
2 Ohio teams, Detroit, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
White Sox.
You have the
Both
2
Chicago
Chicago
teams.
teams. Yeah, not a lot of warm weather / I don't know how
No,
many
the
teams
dome in
played
Tampa.
domes.
They could go down and play in Tampa in the 80s in the Yankees AA stadium or wherever they're playing there.
Yankees rookie league or
Even
single A
better.
rookie league.
Yeah,
but
why
it's not
not?
double A. Yeah.
When are the A's heading to Vegas? Is that the following
2020
year?
I think it's 2028.
Oh, gosh. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
they're
think-
just going to hang out in West Sacramento
I think
for
the hope is
2 more
2020.
years.
But
Why
next year
not?
they are going to play 6 games
6
in
out of 80.
Vegas.
Or
at
UNLV's field?
At the AAA. There's a AAA
Oh.
team out there. I'm not sure if that's their affiliate or if that's the Rock or the Rocks. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, they're going to play 6 games though, 2-3 game series out there.
Really started warming the fan base, priming them.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know, man. I don't. I've never been to a sporting event when I've been to Vegas. You know?
Really?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm there for there 3 or 4 days. Want to get the most out of it and doing things that I can't do. I can go to a basketball game if I'm in Ohio. I can go to
You can go to a casino when you're in Ohio,
go
too.
to. I know, well, that's not the same.
Now you can.
Yeah, you
Are you
can't.
talking about like the Bunny Ranch and stuff like that?
I like when
Those
I
are the
go,
only things I know that you can't do in Ohio.
like when I go out to Vegas, I
Play
will
golf, do that in Ohio.
I will have no desire to go see an A's game. I don't want to spend 3 or 4 hours watching a Major League Baseball. It would be 3 hours, I guess, out there because of how quick the games are now. But 3 hours watching a game, when I can spend 3 hours doing other things in Vegas. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's
Bunny Ranch.
I've been out there when there's been big fights. That's a little bit different.
Spearmint Rhino.
I'm not familiar with those places, Bob.
Well, that's the only stuff I know that you cannot do in Columbus.
Well, you can't. It's frowned upon.
Oh, it's illegal, too.
That part too.
Oh, you got to get caught.
Yes. Yeah, right. It's not illegal unless you get caught, Bob. Coming up next, Ryan Day spoke yesterday. We'll hear what the coach had to say next. Morning Juice.
In honor of all those we've lost to cancer and those still fighting and thriving, like basketball analyst and cancer champion Dick Vitale.
I want to beat cancer. I'm going to beat it. That's no doubt in my mind. I'm going to win this battle.
Defeating cancer will take all of us. Join our team to help fund game-changing research that saves lives. At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over the odds. V is for victory over health disparities, victory over setbacks, victory over the unknown. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate to the V Foundation to join our team and help save lives.
Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul.
100% of donations fund game-changing cancer research. Donate now to the V Foundation at v.org.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad, and I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS-FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. He is the all-American male. Tito pulled a hammy getting his mail. This is Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice. Coaster Bob time here, Bodie.
Ooh.
Ryan Day spoke yesterday. Big game, obviously, coming up, if you haven't heard.
Who do they play?
I think it's, I can't remember where. I think it's Texas start things off. And they've got a pretty good quarterback, I hear. Here is Ohio State's quarterback, Julian Sayin. Here's what Ryan Day, his message to Julian Sayin, the Ohio State starting quarterback.
Well, the message is just win. Find a way to win. I think when you start setting expectations, you can get yourself out of whack. We're going to take it one play at a time. He's got a good group of guys around him. He's got a good defense. He's got good special teams, a good offensive line, good skill guys. He needs to lean into those players and find a way to win the game. We'll try to get him into a rhythm and then go from there. And that's really it. It's a start. It's the first game, and we're excited for him. You're seeing him every day get more and more confident, more and more comfortable in what we're trying to do. But we got to get on the field and play, and it's about time.
How conservative do you expect Ohio State to start out offensively?
I think I'd say conservative. I mean, protecting their young quarterback. I think they'll be part of this, but they're going to take shots. Like, make no mistake about it. Ryan Day has a team that they will push the ball down the field. But I don't think they're going to be reckless with it. I think if they can get that running game going, that is the biggest thing, because it also protects your defense, keeps them off the field. They've been trying to shorten games as well, but they'll be aggressive at times, but I don't think it's going to be foolishly aggressive, if you will, foolhardy moving forward.
Yeah, whenever my fear, the thing I think about, so I just don't want them to be, I don't want Ohio State to be conservative like they were in the Michigan game last year. Like, that's what I think of, I want them to be more aggressive. Like, they were aggressive, obviously, in the playoff. They seem to be more aggressive to me with their play calling in the playoff and had a lot of success with that. I just hope they don't.
Well, some of that's going to be weather dependent. Like, it's a nice day, so it's going to be fine. It's not going to be overly windy, so I think he should be good.
Ryan Day talked about how excited he is about having a game like this to start the season.
Well, first off, I think it's great for college football playing a game like this opening weekend, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for Sark, for his coaching staff, for the players, and we're excited to play these guys. It's rare that you would kind of play someone like this towards the end of the season and start the regular season with them, but here we are, and I think it's going to give us a great barometer coming out of the first game. But for us, as we've talked about before, the preparation starts really early because you got to be on point and we got to play a clean game. That's very, very important. And so, as you get closer and closer to the game, you just do everything you can to prepare the guys. I think when you look at our season, which is unique this year, one of your goals should be to win the opener. I mean, that's clear. We did that when we had Big Ten games to open the season, win the opener, and then you kind of go from there, which allows us an opportunity to focus on one game at a time. And then, once this game's over, we'll figure out what we did well, what we need to improve on. The issues will be there. They'll surface, and then we address them. So, it's an exciting time of year because now we get on the field and figure out where we're at, figure out where the guys are at, and go from there. But it's important that we play clean in game one.
It is going to be very interesting, Bob, to see this Ohio State defense and what they can do against Arch Manning and the Texas offense. There's so many interesting matchups in this game that I can't wait to see. Outside of the fact, it's Ohio State and Texas, but there's so many things that I want to say are unknowns on both sides of the ball for both teams. that'll be interesting to see how all that plays out.
And so, do you have a lot of hypotheses right now of what you think your players can do and what you hope your team can do? Some of that's going to be confirmed. Some will be debunked, and there will be some where you're like, okay, we can do this if we start to do that and maybe get a little better here, or maybe tweak this or move that around. And that's going to happen regardless of the win or loss. Now, it's more painful in the loss, and you probably take a more of a fine-tooth comb through the program as you're seeing that. But like Ryan said, you're going to figure some things out, and then you'll get moving with it and be able to kind of grow and develop during the season. But that can only happen once you start playing games, which is kind of the painful part of all of this.
Ohio State having 2 new coordinators. Hartline's he was he called a co-offensive coordinator?
He was co-coordinator last year, but Chip was calling the plays.
Right. But Hartline now the offensive coordinator, and you got Matty P over there on the defensive side of the ball. And Ryan Day also used to be a coordinator at Ohio State. And here's how he was talking about the battle between coaches with the play calling.
Coach Meyer and I used to go at it, but I think the thing that I really respected about Coach and he respected about me was, he would challenge me, and then I would go right back at him because I felt strong about what we did, And as long as you were strong about it, then he respected that. Now you better be right. Well, it's the same thing now. And I do that. The same thing is like I challenge guys. I challenge them about their players. I challenge them about scheme. I challenge them about their technique. And if guys don't feel really confident coming back at you saying, no, we're going to do this, because that's what you want as a coach. You call a play and you're like, this play's not going to work. And they all come back, yeah, it is. Well, okay, good. Well, then let's see. And that's kind of what you're looking for. But as the head coach, you constantly have to challenge these guys. And then you also find out what they like, what they feel confident in their players in. Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth. But most of that conversation happens during the week when we're on the board, on the film, putting the game plan together.
So when they talked about the back and forth, and you have you want guys that are opinionated about it and aren't just lukewarm on why we want to do this or why we're going to do that. And it's pretty interesting to hear that back and forth between coaches on the headset, and even during the week, as Ryan was saying, because that's where you get some of the really robust conversations that get in depth. During a game, you've got about 10 to 15 seconds to decide, and you're always working about a play or two ahead of understanding what the situation could potentially be. But you want people that have conviction about it. And when you make these statements, well, that's going to work or that's not, why? Why do you think that? Details, facts, reasons, Thitoff. So if you're going to come at somebody and you're going to make a statement about this is what we're going to do and someone's going to challenge you on it, then you have to have the DFR, details, facts, and reasons, as my 8th grade teacher would always tell us in English class, that when you make statements that are going to prove your point, you have to then back them up with references from the text that we were talking about, or some sort of hard evidence as to why. Why is this going to work? Well, because Texas likes to run A, B, and C here. This is what we're good at. We saw this in practice. Such and such feels really confident about it. I think this plays into our skills of what we do really well. Boom, and now you have your answer. Not, it just seems like it's going to work.
When it comes to making calling the plays and whatnot, do you think Ryan will give on game day just like complete control of that to Hartline, or will he still have the he
always has final say. He's the head coach,
you're right? But do you think though that he will? Admittedly, it's hard for him.
I once heard Urban hijack. Well, I didn't hear this. I'm talking to somebody and like seeing and being engaged and watching how things would go down. Hijack the call. Back when Ed was here, I think it was the 2015 season, about whether they should run QB power to the right or to the left. And like that was the massive debate that almost led to a delay of game. I'm like, really? That's where we're at with this? Not like what it should be, but which side it was going to be on. And, Ed, I don't know if had the same, and Beckman, I don't know if they had the same confidence coming back at Urban when he would press hard into why they were going to do that. Urban can be a very overbearing and intimidating figure, and when that's the case, you had better have strong convictions about why you're saying one thing or the other.
Last year, it was interesting to me that we had Chip Kelly for the 1 year, and Kelly and Ryan Day obviously had a long friendship relationship for years before all that happened. And so I didn't expect there to be any kind of real power struggle between the two of them.
There's always a dynamic, though.
Yeah, I know, but
sometimes when you know people closer,
yeah,
it can be even more personal with things.
But I got to believe it's difficult for Day, a difficult transition to give up or to cede that kind of power to somebody, you know?
Well, and that's why, what are you thinking here? Well, this is what I'm thinking. All right, well, I'm thinking that too. I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you thinking? Well, why do you want to do that? Why this now? Well, we ran this. I'm running this to set this up. You just got to have a plan, and it's got to be coherent. And that's why Ryan said a lot of that happens during the week.
Right.
These are our scripted plays. This is what we're looking to get in. This is why we're going to run this as this per their defense. They're showing us these are why we like these different personnel groupings. We can take advantage of this, and then when they change it and we think that we know what their changeup will be, then we can attack them with that. So as much as people talk about play calling on game day, which is important, it's setting up the process during the week to have those answers. Because if you don't practice it during the week, with a young quarterback, you're not going to run it during the game.
I'm always amazed, Bob, when I watch the games and how quickly coaches have to make adjustments. You know, like, because if Texas comes out and does something unique that Ohio State wasn't ready for, or vice versa.
Yeah, that's usually in game one.
Yeah,
happens a lot. Early in the season happens a lot. Like if both teams would have played like a Sun Belt school and a MAC school or something like you're still
independent.
You're going to have a feeling about what they're going to do, and you may know some of it based upon watching these formations and personnel groups, but they can still come out with something that you've never seen before.
Right.
Like one of the great conversations all time. I think I was there maybe 2 years after it happened. I mean, you rarely get Bill Belichick unprepared and without an answer. You may get him for a series,
right?
But you're not going to get him for an entire half, and definitely not a game. And they said when Miami came there and unleashed, what the wild hog or whatever they call that, the
Ronnie Brown, right?
Ronnie Brown and those guys, they would have said it was like someone threw a gasoline grenade in the locker room. Like coaches, because you almost had coaches fist fighting each other. Bill's yelling, "This is how we're going to do it." They're telling him it's not going to work that way. He's saying, "I've coached for 40 years. This will stop it." It's not. Like it was a disaster.
How much good?
Because they never practiced it before. It was something they'd never even seen for a long time. And then also, even if one coach had, but like getting your players to understand and relate to it and have the answers is hard.
That's why North Carolina is fascinating to me this year, because you're not preparing for 31 different NFL teams or the same teams you're going to play twice a year and things like that. It'll be interesting to me to see how Belichick adjusts on the fly.
Well, and the other thing is the rules in college are not nearly as constrictive as the NFL. So there's some things you can do in college that you can't do in the NFL, given how the hashes sit.
Right.
And then also just some of the different nuances in those rules of what you're able to do either on offense or defense.
You also can't steal signs. I heard that
We'll
I didn't
do everything we can.
This one I did want to play.
Do everything they can.
No, listen, Bob. This right here is the only reason I could not be a coordinator for Ohio State. An offensive coordinator. That's one reason.
Okay.
Because every single play, I would just tell Jeremiah Smith, go deep. That's all I'd do. And anyway, then I'd throw up a 50-50 ball, which is really a 70-30 ball. But here is Ryan Day talking about not forcing it to Jeremiah Smith.
We'll do everything we can to try to get, the guys in position to make plays. But ultimately, we have to have a balance. And if you have a balance, then you got a chance to attack teams. The goal here is not to get a certain player a certain amount of touches. It's to win the game. Now, in order to win the game, certain guys have to touch the ball. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's it. We have to win the game. And when Jeremiah's touching the ball, a lot of good things happen. So that's our job to make sure that that's happening. But at the same time, we got to make sure we do what we can to win the game and then go from there.
So I would open every game with a play action pass, deep pass to Jeremiah Smith. Just see what happens.
But, well, if you do it every game, then
people will pick up on it. I know.
But at some point, you've got to have a little bit of, nuance there to how you're going to call it and keep them off balance a little bit.
But yeah, that's true. I like the fact that you're not going to force it. You can't force it to somebody. You got to take what the defense gives you, I guess. But I don't know. That's that'll be interesting to watch that though, and how they manage all of that. I have one where I wanted to play on. This is Ryan Day talking about what they have to do to win the game.
Number one goal, win the game, and then go from there. We know we have a long season ahead of us, and we know we're going to get great information coming out of this game, but like the number one goal is to win the game, win the game, win the game. So what do we need to do to win the game? You start listing those things and then build from there based on what we've seen. You don't know which way the game's going to go. It could be close. We find ourselves out ahead. We find ourselves behind. We have to have, a game plan to be able to respond to those things. So to say, we're going to play it close to the vest, no, we're not going to do that. To say we're going to be wide open and chucking it 60 times, no, we're not going to do that. It'll be somewhere in between based on what we're seeing, the success we're having, and then where we are in the game in terms of score.
Do you think it'd be better for Ohio State to just have a dominant performance, game never in doubt, or have to overcome some adversity in the game and still get the win?
Adversity builds character. So as much as I would like to be sitting there and it looked like Tennessee, Oregon.
The Oregon game, yeah.
I think the Texas game built a lot more of who you were. Maybe kind of even revealed it. I don't know if it builds the character, but it reveals it. It polishes it for you.
Right.
And so when you're not ever challenged and you're not ever in those tight late game situations, you never get used to being able to experience the pressure of what that feels like. And that's a critical part to development. And so as much as you want, hey, I'd love to be cruising through the end of the game with a 14-point lead.
Right.
I'm sitting up there, the front row, hammered drunk, just screaming, go Buckeyes, like game not in doubt. Ryan Day's got his tuxedo T-shirt on, which shows that he's formal but still likes the party.
Right.
And you're thinking, let's just get Carmen, Ohio fired up and get those couches ready to start burning. Let's get that kerosene ready and the lighters up. We're ready to go. It's also great when you're sitting there and you're watching a 3rd and 8 and you're like, either we got to stop them or we got to convert it. You're watching a 4th and 6, or 4th and goal from the 6.
Right.
Knowing you got to go make a play, and the play that you make caps off the game. Like there is something to being able to do that, being able to score at the end of the game, circa 2023 when Notre Dame has 10 guys on the field. Understanding like, hey,
got personal in
you
here.
call a timeout and you still send 10 guys back out there again. All right?
This could be our greatest moment. Yeah.
What if they would have stopped him?
Exactly.
That's a greater story. They have 10 and stop them. All of a sudden, they look like geniuses.
It really is. So, but there is something to playing in those moments. And just, to go back on, we're born of great opportunity.
Yeah.
And as Marcus Freeman probably stood in his locker room after the Northern Illinois game, well, guys, we beat Texas A&M, but now we burned our mulligan. All right, we had a great tee shot. We're sitting there ready to go. All we got to do is just tap it in, give a little tap, tappy. And you know what we did? We airmailed it off the green, hit it into the bunker. So we went from having like a 4-foot tap in to a bunker shot now. And so you know what? You learn from that, and the experience of like he said, we had to play in a playoff game every week.
Yeah.
People are like, wow, look at their schedule. It's like, dude, you still can't mess up.
Right.
You still can't lose. You might not even be able to have like a real close game. And so
one game, one life
every week. And so learning about that, learning about yourself helps. It may not always feel that good. But as you're taking a rough piece of wood and sanding it down and you're trying to get the diamond out of the coal, you've got to apply a little friction to make sure that that's refined.
Like a diamond in an ice storm.
Like a diamond in an ice.
Yeah, I wonder.
That skeleton horse right to the gates of hell.
I wonder what what Day would prefer. For this team.
I'd probably blow them out.
That's what I'm asking. I agree with you, Bob. I think
every coach at the present time says they'd rather blow them out.
Right.
But then when they're talking 3 weeks later, be like, hey, we've been in these situations. We're battle tested. We're battle hardened.
Right.
If you beat every team by 21 points and all your starters are sitting on the sideline with their shoulder pads undone, you can't say that. We haven't been in close games. We haven't worked through this. After the Michigan game, you can say we've had a lot of painful experiences, guys.
Galvanized them.
We've lost some hard ones. We've been through it all, and we're still standing here. I'm still standing.
That's why I think that, not that I'm hoping for a loss against Texas that galvanizes this team, but I'm just saying that I think that the adversity they had to go through last year, the loss against Oregon and the loss to Michigan.
That is the huge comment that's been made. It's the multiverse of madness, but like if you beat Michigan, do you still win a national championship?
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
And that's no one will ever know.
Yeah.
Not just you,
I don't
me.
I say I don't feel
everyone.
confident about
Dr. Strange might know.
Dr. Strange might know, but that's the reality of like, did that painful experience help you along the way?
Right.
Probably did. Could you have grown without it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. And I don't think anybody else does either.
I don't want the first adversity that Sane and the Buckeyes faced be on the road in Champaign or here against Penn State. I want to have I want Ohio State to have to survive some moments before that. I'm not saying the Hail Mary to win a game kind of thing, but I hope they have to overcome some things.
That'd be exciting, though, wouldn't it?
That would be, yes, before those moments.
I mean, the 3rd and 11, like people talk about that.
Yeah.
If it's not 3rd and 11, if it's, you're taking a knee at the end of the game, that doesn't seem near as significant.
Right. Coming up next, we'll keep talking Buckeyes. Austin Moore joins us. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Some journeys start small, with small pause and big purpose.
Look how little fly, you sweet girl.
Every great partnership begins with the first step,
Bella, let's go.
guiding them through the world so one day they can guide someone through life. With shared experience, confidence grows, and the path becomes clear. It takes time, patience, and love. But the reward lasts a lifetime.
Hey, good girl, Bella.
You don't just raise a puppy. You raise a future. Become a Dogs Inc. puppy raiser. Give a dog a purpose. Give someone hope.
Learn more at dogsinc.org.
Hey guys, 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion Jason McCourty here, and I'm the Innovation Ambassador at FAIR, Food Allergy and Research Education. I would say the most challenging thing as a parent of a kid who has a food allergy is probably the ignorance that I myself had in the beginning. I didn't know what anaphylactic shock was. I didn't know the dangers, let alone the things that she needed to be able to have a normal life. When you go to drop your kid off, and every single time in the beginning, we'd have to go through everything she was allergic to. Preparation is everything. And me, for playing football for 13 years, it was all throughout the course of the week. It's getting ready for game day. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook: read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
You see that face on the screen, you know what it's time for.
A guy who considers himself the mayor of Laramie, Wyoming, who holds the shuffleboard record at the Ranger, and most impressive, the commissioner of the Central Ohio Two-Man Scramble League. Here's Austin Ward.
He is Austin Ward. Austin and Berm. The Beat with Austin and Berm. Available on 10TV Plus app. Download the 10TV Plus app today on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku. Stay locked in with the latest Buckeye talk wherever you go. Just search Austin Berm, Austin and Berm, wherever you get your podcast. Austin, is it true that you've been banned from Michigan, from the Big House for the game in Ann Arbor this year?
Not that I know of,
Okay.
but it
my credential in the big house has never let me onto the field before the game anyway, so I think I would be in the same situation. Well, Dave Portnoy will probably be on the field for that game, and I will not be, so the roles will be reversed. Been a fun week, hasn't it, Bob?
Always entertaining, Austin. Never a dull moment. It was great to have the Rooster Show back. Never thought that it was the type of traction and entertainment.
Got a lot of eyeballs on it.
Got a lot of eyeballs on it, so that's very good for some very benign things that were ultimately said. Any impact to the game at all?
But don't you think that, like, it needed to be brought up by somebody? I don't know that when we started the show on Monday, I definitely didn't know that was we didn't script that, obviously. Didn't know that was the route we were going to go down. But I feel like 48 hours later, and the Big Ten finally is acknowledging that somebody was not going to be involved on the stage and on the fields across the Big Ten, not just at Ohio State. Fox is talking about the specifics of who's going to be on the desk before the game, at halftime, after the game. I felt like that could have been done before Ohio State had to speak up about it, don't you? I mean, it was a lose-lose situation PR-wise for Ohio State. Either you go out in advance and say, hey, we don't really want a Michigan booster on our field and sideline before kickoff, before one of the biggest games of the season, or any game for that matter. Or the other situation is you allow that to happen on Saturday. You don't know what situation would occur.
It's a beautiful mystery.
You assume that person is probably going to be wearing maize and blue and doing who knows what, but then you're labeled soft for a quote-unquote ban that didn't exist, or they call you soft because you allow a Michigan booster to run around your stadium before kickoff and do who knows what. Like, Ohio State was in a lose-lose situation in that spot.
And Fox wins this, right? I mean, Fox.
I don't know. I think Fox might be the ones that have had the most to deal with all of this.
Well, they may have. I'm saying, but the publicity you're getting from this, though. I mean, if you didn't know that Portnoy was going to be part of their coverage, you know now.
Yeah, but does that make you want to watch?
I don't know.
I mean, Austin, I don't think that they're, from a Big Ten perspective, I don't think that that's going to help draw eyeballs to the games that they're going to be featuring.
Yeah, I mean, I think you tried to make this point, and we talked about it on Monday. It's not Ohio State's point, and our point was not whether you like or dislike the content that is produced by Barstool, by Dave Portnoy, or any of that. Like, that wasn't an opinion or trying to pick a fight with anybody. It was Ohio State, when it looks at this specifically, yes, there is things that they don't like that were said about Ryan Day, that have been said about the players, that have been talked about in the rivalry. But the fact that was most critical for Ohio State, but also for every other team in the Big Ten, was that this person is also talking about funding and playing a booster role for another program in the Big Ten, including their starting quarterback. So having that person with close access to your players or anything else on the sideline became the single biggest problem. It was not about anything that is said or done as part of Fox or whatever this, the Barstool college football tour. Like, that's allowing some other program's booster on the sideline. There's no program that they would have wanted that for. And that doesn't just apply to Ohio State and the rivalry with Michigan. It applied across the Big Ten, and 17 other programs in this conference didn't want that.
The first time Ohio State's defense takes the field, Austin, what is something you want to that you're looking forward to seeing or checking out that they do?
Yeah, I want to see not just how they line up on that first snap, Tito, but then how much it might change by the second snap, or how much it might change by the second drive, and then compare that to what it's going to look like 3 weeks later against Washington. I think the most exciting part about this new era with Matt Patricia, I think, is the variety of looks that we're going to see, the different ways that he can attack, and I really want to track that throughout the course of the season. It's going to be hard. I'm going to need Bob to do a lot of that research for me, use his expertise, but how many players are going to be involved for Ohio State? I think we could reasonably assume there's not a lot of uncertainty about who the first 11 would be in a traditional scheme for Ohio State, but how often do we actually see like a base personnel group, and what is it? Because, I think, Tito, we've had this conversation a number of times. The last time I was in to do this show with you, it's like, hey, what do you think a Matt Patricia defense is going to look like? It's going to look like a lot of things. You guys talked about the multiverse of madness in the previous segment. Matt Patricia can unleash all of that. He's Doctor Strange in this situation for Ohio State, and we're going to see a lot of different configurations, a lot of different personnel groups, and that is exciting to me because Jim Knowles did a lot of great things. Obviously, he had the number one defense in the country, and the Buckeyes just won the national championship with him as the defensive coordinator. But in that safety-driven defense, it felt like by and large, you knew what that was going to look like. He was going to disguise coverages. He was going to blitz the linebackers but you knew who was going to be out there most of the time. And if you look at the snap counts for Ohio State last year, they leaned very heavily on that primary 11 and that veteran group. And I don't know if that's going to be the case for Ohio State under Matt Patricia. And that's a new era that's going to be exciting to watch.
Going to be very exciting. I'm very, I'm on the edge of my seat, Austin, to try to see what's going to happen and what they're going to unveil here against Texas. And I think Texas probably is too, because they don't really have any film to go off of that you're trying to watch and figure out, given, last year's coordinator is far different than what Matt Patricia does, and you've got some new personnel as well to kind of parcel in there. So trying to kind of understand that could be a challenge. Still of the belief this is a defensive struggle on both sides, or do you think this is a game that you could see a little bit of an offensive burst early?
Yeah. Maybe by the time you get to the second half, you could see, because I do believe there's so much talent on defense. For that applies to both Ohio State and Texas. And, there is also, look at the blue chip ratio. It's not like they're devoid of it on the other side. And when you have players, especially for Ohio State, like Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, that James Peoples, C.J. Donaldson, Max Clare, that can attack and get loose at any time, maybe you do start to see some of that game get stretched out in the second half, or both teams start to find their footing in a way to attack. But, I do believe, especially early on, all openers are going to have some of this disjointedness. There's going to be rust. Better than anyone, Bob, that you go into this game and you might have some really physical scrimmages, what you think are great ways to prepare for the season. The speed and the physicality of the game, once you get into it and those live bullets are flying, as they say, that's always a new feeling, even if you've done it a bunch of times. But there are people in this game for both Ohio State and Texas that haven't yet. So that's all going to be new. I think the execution is probably going to look sloppy for both teams at times. For all of the plaudits that Arch Manning is receiving before he's actually accomplished anything at Texas, he and Julian Saint are really doing this for the first time in a high leverage situation. And there are going to be growing pains, and both Texas and Ohio State on defense are capable of inflicting those sorts of pains and forcing, some learning moments. And I just remember thinking what happened in the Cotton Bowl, the way that game script played out. That was veterans on both sides, including at quarterback. And without Jack Sawyer scooping and sawyering, that was a 21-14 game, wound up being 28-14. As that sits right now, that would go on the on the betting lines right now. So I think that's probably where this one is still where it's going to finish for me, Bob. I think it's going to be a real slugfest, and we've seen that before. And in the Cotton Bowl, I think we'll see it again on Saturday at noon.
So when I know we've heard Ryan Day talk, you've been around the program a lot, obviously in the off season here as much as you could be. Do you think there is a plan where King Holes will get into the game at some point, like it's scripted already, he's going to be in the game at some point, or do you think they have not done that?
I don't think they will script it, Tito. I think that you look at the times where Ohio State has experimented with that, the periods where Ryan Day has toyed with, scripting a role for a backup quarterback, whether that's as far as he took it with Kyle McCord and Devin Brown a couple years ago at Indiana, or finding red zone packages. We've seen that with JT Barrett, Tate Martell, Devin Brown did that. I don't know that that part has really worked, if that's been effective enough that Ryan Day would want to do that again. And, to hear both Ryan Day and Steve Sarkisian talk about it this week, there's a belief that maybe Julian Sayin isn't getting enough credit for his mobility himself. So if he can handle everything that Ohio State wants from the quarterback, which I assume that they believe he can, or they wouldn't have named him the starter a week and a half ago, I don't think you have a big need for that, nor does it really do anything to threaten the opponent. I think it disrupts the Ohio State offense more than it puts the Texas defense on the back heels to do that in this game. So I think Lincoln Kienholz has prepared enough. He's still got some level of reps with the ones over the last couple of weeks. If there's a need, if there's an injury, if there's a problem with the production, I think they can go to Lincoln Kienholz, but I don't believe there will be anything that's scripted to get him involved. And my personal preference watching Ohio State is that they don't need one of these packages or, to do gimmicky things with Lincoln Kienholz. And I'm not going to necessarily change my mind on that part. I've been consistent with that. I think if you've got a quarterback that you trust, you ask him to go do all the things and put him in a position to succeed, and don't have him looking over his shoulder or anything like that. So I think you roll with Julian Sayin and see how that goes.
I don't disagree with you in that, Austin. I mean, you picked a guy, so let him roll at this point. You've got to have his back early on in this game too, because there's going to be some ups and downs. Key to this game, what do you see being the determining factor for which team will win?
Yeah, I hate to do this, Bob, because it's such a cliche, but in these talent-equated games, you're going to have to be able to run the football, and you're going to have to win the line of scrimmage. So whether that you want to focus that on Ohio State's defensive line, being able to take that part away from Texas, whether you want to shift that to Ohio State with, as much as I've talked about how deep and flexible this group is, I think this Ohio State offensive line is the best, has the potential to be the best, and have more guys play than any I've covered in 14 years at Ohio State. Whether that's James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson picking up that tough yards and having the ball security, making sure that they don't give away the program when it's in their hands. You can pick any one of those three areas, I suppose, but the way that you look at this game, I think, is going to be very similar to the way that we've talked about, the Michigan game and the rivalry over the last couple of years. It's going to be really physical. Both of these teams are building from the trenches out and capable of winning against almost anybody they play up front. So when you have that sort of opportunity, especially early in the year, like, the challenge is really issued. And I think that Ohio State's offensive line, I don't have concern about that. There is obviously uncertainty about the depth of the Ohio State defensive line. We've talked about that for the last 8 months, but that front unit, you're leaning on Kenyatta Jackson and Edric Houston and Caden McDonald and Caden Curry, and supplementing that with CJ Hicks and Bo Atkinson. Like, that's pretty darn good right there. Now, over the length of the season, we'll see who else steps up to help fill that void. But for one game and one opportunity against a rebuilt Texas offensive line, I think that matchup is pretty winnable for Ohio State as well. So, I think, let me just cap it off with one more thing, Bob, that you have to make the routine plays routinely.
There you go.
So, I think that protect the football and win up front. I mean, it is not a sexy game plan or approach or key, but this is a game where I think I buy into that notion more than any other.
Awesome. We appreciate the time. Thanks so much. The Beat with Austin Berm, now available on 10TV Plus app, and just wherever you get your podcast, search Austin Berm. You'll get their daily podcast. We will talk again next week, hopefully about a 1-0 Buckeye team there, Austin.
Sounds good. And hopefully a 1-0 Wyoming Cowboys after the trip to Akron on Thursday night. Can't wait to get this weekend started up there.
The bowl ineligible zips, Austin. Yep. That sounds like a great one.
All right. We'll talk later, Austin. Thanks.
See you guys.
Do you need a bank that truly values local businesses in this town and the opportunity to work alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area and will help you reach your goals. Whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, coming next, Toby's got us juiced. Morning juice.
Bobby Carpenter here with Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. In sports, it's always a good idea to be working on your fundamentals. Off-season, during the season, it doesn't matter. The ones who drill the fundamentals are the ones who consistently win. The same holds true when you're running a business. Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin, know banking fundamentals can make all the difference.
Thanks, Bobby. There's no substitute for doing the right thing, and often the hard thing in business. Managing the books, cash flow, and sales tracking is as important as producing the product. The business cannot succeed without good fiscal management.
Thanks, Chuck. Riverside Bank of Dublin knows that most business owners are busy people, and that's why we can assist in cash management. Let one of our commercial bankers help you do the right thing, too. These skills will help you grow your business and get a loan when the time comes. We want to help. Call us.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better, you've earned it.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Attack and dominate, YouTubers. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Mics are off there, weren't they?
I think so.
Okay. By the way, before we get into what's got us juiced, I want to tell you that the Think You Know Sports Trivia, here's your shot to score tickets to Ohio State, Texas. It's a season kickoff trivia tournament Friday, August 29th at the O1 Lane. Bring the heat, bring your A game, and bring a teammate. Sign up your 2-person team right now at 971thefan.com. Season kickoff trivia tournament is sponsored by Logan Services.
Bodie's got something.
Yeah, we still got one more. 2 passes to give away.
Oh.
Jump in the chat, tweet the show if you want them.
All right, there you go. That's got to get somebody juiced up. We'll tell you what's got us juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Bobby, the juicers are the juicers are very fired up right now. They want you and Portnoy to go at it. For cage match.
I'm not going to re-engage anymore with what's going on with that. I am done and over with it. People are saying you look angry. I'm like, I'm not angry. It has no impact on my life, and it's fine. And there's a lot of things that are going to be said, and it's okay. I'm done with it. Ironically, one of the other comments that got everybody going happened in my reaction to it because my wife goes, you know about this? I'm like, do I not have a cell phone? Do you think people are not texting me about it? I had no idea what it was. And Schlegs and I were doing our YouTube show. That was the first time I had seen it. of what had happened.
Right.
So that, I was kind of just reacting to that. And I made the comments like, I didn't even know if, Dave Portnoy, if he had gone to Michigan, like, do the research. I'm like, I don't care about research. I don't care. Dave Portnoy, knowing about him, like I said, and I'll say this, guy's been wildly successful in life. Congratulations to him. I'll take some of his stuff. I'll leave some of his stuff. What happens here at Ohio State, that's their business. And Fox, that doesn't have any impact on my life. I'm going to go down there at noon and consume the game. And then I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch other games. And then I'm going to proceed with my life. And that's going to be how it is. And, so congrats to him on all the success and everything moving forward. But I'm excited, for this being a Wednesday, going to get over there, watch some practice today. Everything that's going on, I get a chance. I thought I was supposed to speak at the quarterback club yesterday, but I couldn't remember if it moved from Wednesday to Tuesday or Tuesday to Wednesday. So I was a little bit early, but I will be over there speaking today at the Fawcett Center. So excited about that.
Oh, you went over there?
What?
You went over there?
Well, I got over there. I was like, and I was hanging out at the Woody because I was like, I'm not going to drive all the way home. I showered there. I was like, I'm just waiting about 20 minutes. Like, let me check my calendar again. I was like, oh. Because I had it in my calendar this. I was like, let me check the text. And it was not then. Because I need to see what room to go to. And, so going to do that today. So excited about that. That's got me juiced up as well. A lot of this stuff is wild and fun. But you know what? Trying to work on the plans for this Labor Day. Excited about that, about what we're going to do as a family, whether we're like to get back down to the Ohio River, watch some football down there, relax a little bit, enjoy some days, but we'll see kind of what all the kids want to do and what they've got. So that's got me juiced up as well. And this little nugget, what did I have that from? Ray Lewis. If you need to get fired up in the morning, there's a guy
Where's that
out
white
there.
suit, Ray?
That
Or get
white
fired
suit.
at night.
Someone, Bodie, that's willing to do whatever it takes.
Oh, yeah.
All right? To win a game, to avoid a conviction, Michael Irvin, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
One game, one life, all right? How about that? Take the plea deal, Mike. Good for you. Let's listen to Ray Lewis.
Ain't nobody outworking me because I don't compete against nobody else. I only compete against myself. How many in here can do 100 push-ups straight every day? We got to change that. How many here play some type of sport, right? 99% of you. How many academies across the world do you think kids are doing the exact same thing? So the question is, what will you do with time? Because somebody who's broken don't have what you have, they grinding every day. That's the only thing made me different, that I didn't have it. So I wanted to chase it, and I continue to chase it. There's a leader inside of each one of you. But if you never tap into it, you'll live a life based off ifs. If I would have did this, if I would have worked out right, if I would have ate right, all of the ifs.
All the ifs, and if ifs were fifths, we'd be drunk. Call it a party. Old Ray getting it done right there. Bodie, I'm also juiced that you were able to finish the Cowboys. America's team, the Gambler and his Cowboys. I'm glad you.
Cowboys.
The last 3 episodes, they're not even really about football. I mean, it's
not really.
The stars going out, the end of the era, and I think it was. I don't know if it was Michael Irvin or Prime. Like, these Cowboys, they ain't going after. They ain't competing against the 31 other teams. The Eagles, they competing.
Chasing themselves.
The Cowboys, the dynasty. That's what they're chasing. I mean, it was good. It was a very true point, too.
It was really good. I did enjoy, too, towards the end when they asked the triplets, if Jimmy stuck around, how much more winning do you guys think he would have done? And it was pretty much exactly what each person you would think would have said, too. Troy was like, it's hard to say, but I think we would have been in contention each year like we had been. Emmett said we won as many as God wanted us to. And then they cut to Michael, and he's like, we would have won 5 straight.
At least 5.
We would have won at least 5 in a row. And I was like, yes, of course. That was great.
He was definitely a gem. It was fun. It was great to see that. I'm happy to have that wrapped up. Coco Gauff, did she end up winning last night?
I don't know on that one. I don't.
You guys, my wife, we were watching it. I went to bed. I should have probably pulled it up this morning to check and see. A lot of other things going on, but I was trying to get some sleep last night, and I think she lost the second set in a tiebreak.
She won. She was 6-4, 6-7, 7-5.
Yeah. So she. And it went to the tiebreak on that last one. Okay, good for her. to get that done. But that was a big deal. Good for her. Excited about that. Bodie, what Schlei's got to say?
Taysom Hill with an M, not Taysom, but Taysom Hill.
How about
You get
Payson?
Kamara or Payson. Payson and Payson. I don't know. Now you got me confused.
Is that better or worse than Burrows?
Is it better or worse than Larry Combs?
That too, yeah.
You coached
Just call
with
him
him.
Coach.
You coached with him. That's the best part. He's like, no, I said Kerry. I'm like, you did
I
not.
think
Don't
he
you
said
digress
Larry.
me.
Just call him Coach Legs. Just call everybody Coach.
Because you'll be
Bobby
irrelevant.
does.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. What's got me juiced today, guys? Of course, 3 days away from the big Week 1 top 3 matchup between the Buckeyes and Longhorns here in Columbus. Of course, that means we're 4 days away from the second biggest, depending on who you ask, matchup of the weekend down in Coral Gables, the top 10 matchup between the Canes and the Irish.
I think they call it Catholics versus convicts.
They call that, yep, they do call it that
We just
too,
heard
Bob.
from one of the convicts earlier.
Not Schlegs. Ray Lewis, yeah.
Right. Also, I think Michael Irvin might have fallen under that category on a couple different occasions. But nevertheless, you know, the Irish in recent years, last 10 years or so, went down to the greater Miami area, and they played Alabama in the BCS National Championship game in January of 13, and they got absolutely ran off the field. Then in 2017, we went back down, and we got ran off the field again by Miami, 41-8. Somehow lost that game worse than we did to the Crimson Tide. But then in January of this year, actually, 8 months ago there, January 9th, 2025, our beloved Marcus Freeman took the boys down, and poor Penn State had to learn the hard way that it don't take money, and it don't take fame, and you don't need no credit card to ride this train.
Yes. Huey.
First and goal from the 2. Irish trying to take the lead. He handed it off to Love, who stays on his feet. Love is in the end zone.
Unfortunately, we won't have Riley Leonard under center there for the Irish on Sunday night.
No, but
we'll have Jeremiah Love.
But you'll have Mr. Carr.
You can drive that car, man.
Grandson of Lloyd.
Yes. That has me super juiced, Tito. Let's go you juice, sir.
Well, it's I can't wait for tomorrow's college football games getting going there. And I know there's not a lot of marquee matchups. I think only one top 25 team is even
Next
playing
week
tomorrow.
is like the hangover of games. Like this week,
Yeah.
you've got
between
you've got
now
five.
and Monday. It's
robust.
pretty good.
And then
But
next weekend, you'll be waking up like, what am I trying to watch?
But the good news is we'll have NFL Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday after that, then, which will be good. I can't wait for all of that as well. But yeah, it's funny, Bob. Last night, sitting at home at one point, and I told Heather that I said, I want to rewatch Catholics versus Convicts with this game coming up.
I mean, just watch Michael Irvin. He's going to give you all you need.
Artie said, Dad, what's that? What's Catholics versus Convicts? And I said, well, son, when Notre Dame played Miami, and I said there were some people at Miami had in their past that had run afoul of the law and were convicted. That's where that came from. And then
Michael Irvin had a plea deal.
And I said, Notre Dame.
Admitted no guilt, by the way, in his plea deal.
Yeah.
And then he asked a great question after that, though, Bob. And he said,
not what you know, Bob. It's
what
what
did
you can
those
prove.
girls, what did they do exactly?
He didn't ask that. I just said they did some things. That's all I said. I'm very general.
hanging out.
But he said, did Notre Dame have any convicts? I don't know if they did. Or if any of those guys became convicts. You know?
Notre Dame shaped them into the convicts.
I wonder. We say Catholics versus convicts, but was any player from Notre Dame
I'm guessing there's had to be at least one over the last 20 years that got arrested for something. Well, you know who did? Oh, who's the whiteout? Who the booze master? Who's got like 3 or 4 DUIs?
Oh, Mr. Michael Floyd.
Mr. Michael
he
Floyd.
ran into that a few times. Yeah.
He liked to swing on some booze and then drive around. Mike, he's the guy who got, I'm like, dude, this is like your 3rd DUI, man. Like, what are we doing?
Tommy Reese got arrested one time.
Did he really? What did he arrest for?
Yeah,
being awesome.
I think underage drinking.
Underage drinking.
Okay.
Yeah, he couldn't outrun the cops at the party on campus.
Right,
Which
yeah.
said a lot about our quarterback room at the time, apparently.
But look, if Notre Dame also, their high standards cost them probably another national championship because they could have had Randy Moss. You know, but they wouldn't take it. They
Bobby
wouldn't
Bowden couldn't even keep Randy Moss in Florida State,
I
so
know.
I'm not going to put that. I'm not going to put that evil on Lou. Okay, he would have been the convict. Okay?
Yes, he would have been the one. Yes, he would have been the one, though.
Randy's an awesome dude. I will say this, but he obviously came from a less than fortunate upbringing, and he just didn't have a whole lot of regard for the law when he was younger.
It's interesting to me when a player like Randy Moss,
The stories Pennington used to tell about him at Huntington were amazing. Because Huntington is like Lancaster, Ohio, with a college on it, and everybody loved the Herd. So they gave him a lot of latitude. Bodie, you may not have got anywhere else.
Oh, and it's amazing because if you look at some of those guys now, and I don't know what they do in their personal lives every day, but Raymond Moss seems like he's pretty
dude.
Cleaned up and whatnot. Yeah, Michael
when he
Irvin.
Got to the NFL,
I mean, the over/under on Michael Irvin still being alive in 2025, 30 years ago was probably most people probably would have taken the under, and he's
based upon the size of that crack rock that they said was the largest he'd ever seen.
That's a great point. What I was going to say is with Moss, for instance, Moss did not always get along with the media,
but he never got in trouble in the NFL.
Didn't get in trouble in the NFL, no, but he didn't really get along with the media. It seemed like, and to see him as a prominent member in the media now, when you see people that either hated the media or just like had no interest in being interviewed ever, and then turning around and doing something like this. Now, Moss certainly he liked the microphone in front of him, but he wasn't always that cooperative. What did he say? I straight cash, homie. That one. Yeah. I don't tape ankles. I don't tape.
Randy, you must you've been writing a lot of checks for your fines. Checks, straight cash, homie. He is. Because I came out like when I was in college. That was one of our great lines. Straight he's an awesome. Randy is an awesome guy. Like once he figured out life, and he never got arrested or anything in the NFL. Never any off the field issues really. He may have faux mooned, the fans in Green Bay, and people are like, that is awful. I'm like,
dude, killed Joe Buck.
Yeah, the fact Joe Buck's offense to that was ridiculous. I'm like, Joe, come on.
He's come around.
He didn't actually pull his pants down. Yeah. He just. And by the way, that's something that they do in Green Bay that nobody talked about. Like when you go in, the fans moon you. When we pulled into Buffalo, when I was playing in Dallas, this is no joke. We're playing their Monday night game. So we're pulling in, and I hear. I was like, what is that? And I look, and they were throwing eggs at the bus.
Nice.
And you see, like, the yogurt dripping down the side. I'm like, wow, this is an NFL football game, and it's Monday night, and people are throwing eggs at us.
When Notre Dame went to Miami for that 2017 game 8 years ago, somebody threw a beer bottle through the windshield of the team bus, crashed right through it.
I mean, that's
and
like
the team played like they were scared to death too. So
if I was the bus, you're endangering the bus driver at that point.
That's pathetic.
I think the eggs thing is funny.
Eggs is funny, but that's what I'm saying. It's like Green Bay when you go there, their fans literally moon you on the way in, especially for like division rivals. So like him doing the fake deal back, like isn't that what you want? Are you not entertained? The crowd engagement.
I've got a poll question.
Randy's like the black version of Jarrah out there, just engaging more of the fans, bringing them on in.
Did you do your poll question for today?
I have, but I'll write it down if you got one.
Randy always said one of his great regrets was not drafting Randy Moss.
Well, I'm sure.
Because he drafted
him and
he'd kind of been burned.
He wanted to be there, yeah.
He'd been burned by a couple of those guys in between that were questionable characters.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, he would have loved Randy even more than Michael, probably.
And he loves Michael Irvin.
I see a lot of myself in him. I know you do, especially after I'll always have your back. I mean, that's the best part. And then you see all that. Okay, we got to go.
Yeah, I would ask who's more hated, Portnoy, Howard, Desmond Howard, or Mark May among Ohio State fans?
Tito.
Yeah.
That'll be up there tomorrow.
All right, we can do that tomorrow.
One game, one life.
There we go. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thank you to Austin Warp for joining us. We're back tomorrow. Morning Juice.
Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment, facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple years, and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully, with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab. Just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
My son Ian was diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 16 months. The outlook was pretty rough. I mean, it was, we had no hope until St. Jude rescued us. I mean, they saved him. To this date, we are 12 years into this journey, and from day one, we've never once seen a bill. It gave us the peace of mind to know that we're there with our son, and we're gonna beat cancer together. Now, he is doing really, really well. He's alive because of what St. Jude has done. He's here because of the doctors who came before, their blood, their sweat, their tears, the knowledge accumulated and shared, with everyone else around the world. This is how we get rid of this, how we help kids beat cancer all over. It's the future.
Together, we will make cures possible for every child everywhere. Learn more at stjude.org.
Okay, let's go. Top row.
EYECARE?
Good. Next row.
AM America? iCareAmerica.org?
Yes. I Care America helps seniors who haven't had a medical eye exam in 3 or more years. They also help those with an increased risk for glaucoma, and the appointment is often free or at no out-of-pocket cost. It's easy to see if you qualify. Go to